And we are live for the very first time on my channel, guys. Hi to everyone. My name is Sasha. If you're seeing me for the first time, I highly doubt you're seeing me for the first time since I have actually never done this before on my channel, but I had some spare time today. And earlier in the year, I had talked about how I really wanted to do like monthly recaps of what I've been watching and stuff. So I figured we could start this stream while people come in. I know it's like an odd time in the day. It's just kind of when I was able to get everything ready. So I've got a couple of shows that I've been watching lately. So I'll start with that. Come say hi in the chat. We'll be doing a little bit of a Q&A. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be planning on staying on here. Genuinely just have like 30 minutes to an hour that I kind of wanted to spend here. So we'll see how long we stay on. You guys let me know if there's any problems with the stream, please, because I've only ever done this with Jack before, and he has always been there to like let me know if the Wi-Fi crashed or something like that. So hey to everyone, I see a couple of you popping in. This is so cool. So show-wise, what I've been watching lately. I've been binging Veep. I don't know if you guys are a fan of Julia Louis-Dreyfus the way I'm a fan of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but Seinfeld is a fantastic show if you've never seen it, and I love her as Elaine. And so Veep was something that I sort of started to watch when I first got HBO Max, and now I've like binged it. It is like Parks and Rec on steroids. It is so much more vulgar than Parks and Rec could ever be, which is just totally difference between network and cable, specifically HBO cable. But that is what I've been watching most recently. Like literally before this, I was watching an episode of Veep. Then I also got on the Schitt's Creek train finally. Like I know that was everyone's like quarantine comfort like binge show, but I actually got into it and I really like it. Like I totally get why everyone liked it for a while. And I talk about this a little bit on Jack's stream sometimes. I can be very, very late to certain trends. And there's certain shows that if I feel like I've missed the wave of the show, I will just totally like kind of just write it off, which isn't a testament to how good the show is. But Schitt's Creek was kind of one of those when it swept at the Emmys last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. I was kind of just like, okay, well, I'll just have to wait till it's totally done and then just like not, maybe I'll watch it. And now I've fallen in love with it. Also a lot of Big Bang Theory, which if you're a Big Bang Theory fan, you're a Big Bang Theory fan. If you're not, you're not. You know, I've been watching a lot of Friends too, kind of sparse in there, but you know, you've seen Friends enough times that sometimes you want a little bit more of like a nerdier sitcom show. I've also been watching Special, which is in its second and final season on Netflix. It's a really great Netflix original. The first season, you can binge probably in a couple hours. Like I think some of the episodes are like 15 minutes. And then Dead to Me, I'm only a couple episodes in, and This Is Us, which we can get into a little bit later. But I've got a bunch of people in the comments, so I guess we'll hop to that faster. You guys came way faster. Hey to AJ, to Josh over at After Credits, King J23, what's up? Brooklyn, hey, how are you doing? Cinecreep, thank you so much for following me on Letterboxd last night. I got that notification. Tula, how you doing? Ava. And Tula asks, what are my thoughts on Rini? So if you don't know what Rini is the like ship name for Ricky and Nini on High School Musical, the musical, the series, which if you don't know, I do weekly episode recaps for kind of the same way I do Loki, kind of the same way I did Falcon and Winter Soldier. This show's a little bit more fun. It's a little just more casual, but I have a couple of like kind of cute little nicknames for different segments. So my thoughts on Rini, I really like them together. I think they're super cute. I really love them in the first season together. That is why most of my criticism in my reviews is kind of about the way they're treating Gina's character in regards to Ricky, because it seems like they're trying to play up a crush there or a love triangle, which is what we focused on last season. And like, to me, I don't think just because it's a show that's pitched at younger viewers, it should have more formulaic storytelling, if you know what I mean. It should strive to be as good as it can be. And I think the last episode was fantastic. If you haven't watched the show, seriously, do not write it off just because it's High School Musical, the TV show. Like, it is such a good show. And if you're a fan of The Office or Parks and Rec or mockumentary like style, I think it's a really great adjustment to it. I definitely like have my critiques with the way they still play up the typical Disney sitcom where they try to make it a little bit more dramatic than like a true mockumentary would be, with music that comes in at certain points. But Tula, for your question, I definitely really love them together. I really hope nothing happens there. I'm sure there's gonna be drama because it's a TV show, but I definitely don't want anything to happen to them. All right, we got some more people. Hey to everyone as you come in. I'm not going to be able to click on all of these maybe, but okay. Tula said, have you been watching High School Musical? Yes, I have. Tula, have you seen my episode recaps? There's a playlist for them on my channel now. So it'll play 1 through 4, which I've got all of now. And yes, I cannot wait for episode 5 tomorrow. I genuinely think last week's episode was the best thus far. Just in the quality of writing, the tone of the episode. Also, has anyone else who watches High School Musical, the series, noticed lately that it looks a little bit darker? Like the lighting of the show feels darker to me. Maybe it's just like, I feel like there's some adjustment between when I watch on my iPad and when I watch on my laptop. But I definitely feel like it's darker, and I don't know. So King J23 asked, did you watch Loki? I have watched Loki twice now. I watched the first season, or not for the first season, the first episode twice now. I watched it yesterday morning when it came out, did my review, then talked about it with Jack over at Fanatic Films. If you guys are not subscribed to him, you need to go subscribe, and I'm telling you why, because we are doing Loki Lives, what we're calling them. So we're doing a live stream every Wednesday night after we've both been able to watch the episode to talk about our overall reaction, answer comments, interact with like all of our subscribers and stuff. So it's a really fun time. We did our first one last night. It was a blast. So seriously, go subscribe to him. Thoughts about Loki, as I guess also what you're kind of asking. Loved it. I've talked about it a little bit in my trailer reaction for Loki on this channel, but I love Loki. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki, but I really love Loki. I think he's a really, like I talked about this last night, broken, but not in like, oh, we need to baby him kind of way. Like, I really just think he's a super deep character. And I really like that people are noticing that in this episode. I won't go into too many spoilers because I know this is like, I know it's not the weekend yet. And I'm curious to see how many people have seen Loki yesterday because it was a Wednesday as opposed to the usual Friday drops. I feel like most people would see them, Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, by the end of Friday. But I feel like with it being a Wednesday, people aren't necessarily able to do that. So my thoughts on Loki are overall positive. I don't have any critique of the episode. I don't have anything that I didn't like. I would be lying if I said there was anything I didn't like. So yes, is that a little bit of a fangirl opinion? Absolutely. But it's how I feel. So, okay. Max, what is up? Hey, Max, how are you doing? I finally got around to the tag thing that you tagged me on Instagram. I totally forgot to do it yesterday. And then when I went to check this morning, it was expired. But I did it. I found someone else who had the template and it's up now. So it's cool. There's this little trend going around for people who don't know of these like VHS tapes stacked on top of each other. And it's like recommend 5 movies from any genre, era, whatever. And instead of going with like my top 5, I just went with movies that I genuinely think are like super good. So there's some good picks. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go to my Instagram. It's Sasha Raquel with 2 extra L's at the end. So just the name of my channel, smushed together, 2 extra L's. Super original, I know. But yeah, Brooklyn Jade agrees, and I'm assuming Brooklyn, that is in reference to Rini, or Ricky and Nini. Cinecreep asked, how's my day been? My day has been very good. I have woken up, I watched Loki, I then watched some Veep. I've been working on some stuff for an internship I have, and just some other like projects on the side that I just like do to keep myself busy, and then did some YouTube planning and just kind of, I don't know, that's me trying to make it sound like I did more today than I actually did. It wasn't necessarily that productive of a day. Just kind of chilled out and did like laundry. You know what I mean? Tula says, oops. Oh, okay. I am skipping around. Okay. Tula says, yes, I've seen all the reviews. Thank you, Tula. I really appreciate that. Have I been watching Bad Batch? I have not. Okay. So this is where I guess I'll make a little bit of a confessional here. I am not as big of a Star Wars fan as I am Marvel. Marvel, I feel like I know a decent amount. I understand where things are. I could make fair recommendations about the timeline, what movies someone needs to see, etc., etc. Star Wars, I've seen all the movies. I have not seen the Clone Wars movie, which through several reviews, people have done a rewatch of it recently. Was not very good, apparently, which I did not know. I did start watching the Clone Wars series because I see that being the direction that the live action TV shows are going to take after. So I want to get caught up on that like lore and knowledge and all that kind of stuff. But because I haven't seen that, I haven't watched The Bad Batch. And some people might wonder like why I don't do those kind of episode reviews, and it's just because I haven't seen it. And I've heard from people that it's fantastic, and I'm really glad that other people like it. I just haven't. I'm literally 2 episodes into the Clone Wars TV show. Was very confused, then found out there was the movie that I needed to watch before it, which people say is bad, but I still feel like I need to watch it. Kind of like the Fly episode of Breaking Bad. Like they're just chasing a fly, but like you got it if you want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a completionist thing. Like you want to have seen everything. So no, I have not seen Bad Batch, but I plan to when I can get through Clone Wars, which I'm hoping to do sooner rather than later. Okay, other people agree about the lighting in High School Musical, the series. Thank you. I don't know. At first, I literally thought it was like my brightness was like wrong or something. It was like broken or wasn't adjusting correctly. But it's good to know that it's not just me. I also wonder if it's Disney Plus, because then this morning when I tried to watch Loki, not on like the TV and on like my iPad, it was much darker too. I felt like that one wasn't as noticeable, but I feel like HSMTMTS feels more, I don't want to say like desaturated, but it just feels like there's almost like a vignette over it. Like you can't tell like that stuff is faded. Okay. Tula says, also, I'm not agreeing on the whole Gina, Ricky, and Nene thing going on. Tim, which is the showrunner for High School Musical, the musical series, is trying to stir up because all of that already happened. I agree. I think it's a little bit of, I think they're trying to figure out what they're doing with Gina's character, and I feel like there's more meaningful stuff later on in the season. I feel like there has to be for her, same way EJ finally kind of had his realization about Duke in the last episode. I feel like there's got to be more for Gina down the line, and that's why I'm not as worried about the love triangle thing. Plus, it's high school and it's awkward and stuff like that happens in high school. I mean, that's kind of realistic. I agree. I think they're just trying to stir a little bit up, and that, yeah, they have to. It's a high school show. It's meant to be about drama. Tula says, I love your haircut. Thanks, girl. Thank you so much. I got a cut a little while ago. I'm either get my hair cut really short or I let it grow really long. And now I look back at the videos I made literally 2 weeks ago. I'm like, how is my hair that long? How was it that long? But thank you. I really like it. You know, it's summer. It's hot where I live, so can't be dealing with long hair. Plus, my highlights were really growing out, and I cannot afford to get them redone. So if you cut it, it doesn't look as bad. That's what I've learned. King J, I can't wait for the next episode of Loki. It was so funny. I totally agree. I feel like the MCU has been able to keep consistent comedy throughout everything in a way that is so consistent. That's repeating myself, but it really is just so balanced and consistent. And I think Loki is genuinely such a testament to their ability to balance drama and the humor and the character study and all of that kind of stuff. I cannot wait. Hello to George. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Max asked what my internship is. So my internship is I write for a online news entertainment publication called MXDWN. You guys can go check it out. I have a couple stories. Some of my videos, when it's pertinent, I link like the stories I've done. I've done a lot on Bridgerton because I love Bridgerton. I've gotten to do a lot on different MCU shows, which is obviously like so awesome. So that's my internship. I just write a couple articles a week and kind of keep up with the trade publications of what shows are in development. Like for instance, the story I did 2 days ago was about the fact that Mandalorian season 3 has not started production. So it's not filming yet. And we're probably not going to get the 3rd season until next year. But Book of Boba Fett is going to take its place. So I just kind of like read entertainment news and all that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see. George said, I followed your Instagram, but I needed to check if I had turned notifications on so I can't miss the good stuff. Yeah, I am not super active on my Instagram. My Instagram stories, I do kind of a lot. I like to like repost things a lot with kind of very little context. I like to do a little bit of artsy stories sometimes, you know what I mean? But yeah, no. If you guys want to follow me, you can. Seriously, I don't post that much stuff. And now that I have a community tab. Thanks to all of you amazing people. I don't even really need to like post updates about stuff there just because I feel like the majority of my community for YouTube is here. And so I want to go right to you guys as opposed to go somewhere else. Cinecreep, we've got to get you and Jack some more subs. Love both your channels. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But guys, come on. I know that Jack is only 15, as of this morning, 15 subscribers away from 700 subscribers. I know you guys can get him there. I know there's 14 people watching here. I assume a lot of you are subscribed to both of us because we kind of run in the same YouTube film circles. But if you're not, please go check his channel out. He is amazing. He is the nicest guy. He just put out a great video today too about how to start your own physical media Blu-ray DVD collection. So I highly recommend going and checking that out if you're going to start it. And I totally back like his tips of, well, I'm not going to spoil them. You got to go watch the video to get his tips, but I think they're great. They're great ideas of how to grow. Okay, Tula says, I totally love EJ's new character, and I think Gina and EJ would look good. Me too. I think ever since the first Homecoming episode, I guess there's not a second one, but the Homecoming episode in the first season, when they were like dates to make Nene or Ricky or something jealous, I can't remember exactly what was going on. I thought they looked so cute together. The only thing is she's a sophomore and he's a senior, which just doesn't make a ton of sense. But it's high school, so it's like, it's not unrealistic, but I don't know. I kind of just want them to have their own storylines. Not that I don't love romance. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying that I don't love a good romance in a TV show, but I don't want the whole thing to just be Ricky and Nene and Gina and EJ and Ashlyn and Big Red. Even though I love all of them, I just don't want it to feel like that. Or Carlos and Seb. Like, I don't want it to just totally be like a couple show. But you also said totally ship Redland. Yep. Absolutely. Also, I mentioned in one of my past HSMTMTS episode reviews that we don't know Big Red's name. And someone made a mention that it might be Noah because his grandfather, I think, was named Noah, or that was referenced, somewhere in the show that was referenced. And so people are speculating that that's his name. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that it's Big Red. It's just kind of funny. But I would also love if that was like an Easter egg that we learn like by the end of the show. Ooh, Max, great question. What's the next movie you're planning to watch? In the Heights, because I thought it came out tomorrow, but because of my HBO Max subscription, I can watch it today. So that is what I'm planning to watch tonight. Everyone who has seen it saying it's the movie of the year, that it is a fantastic musical. It is, I don't know if anyone's made the comment that it's better than Hamilton, and I'm a huge Hamilton fan, just from the like stage production on Disney Plus. I saw it once last year and it's still in my head to this day. Fun fact, I can rap all of Guns and Ships. That was my summer project last summer, which is super lame. But I can do it. I can keep up with David. Okay, I got it. But yeah, Into the Heights is the next movie I'm planning to watch. After that, probably The Town, because Jennifer's seen it now. If you don't know what I'm referencing, The Town is a Ben Affleck movie that came up in an episode of Movie Drafts a couple weeks back. Jennifer Vega, who is also a great YouTuber, y'all need to go check her out. She and I had not seen it, and Trevor from Film Geeks and, oh my gosh, I can't speak, and Jack from Fanatic Films had both seen it. And they gave us a lot of like, oh my gosh, you guys have to see that movie, you have to see that movie. So after In the Heights, I feel very like obligated to then watch that movie. So yeah, I definitely need to get on that. There's a lot of movies from Movie Drafts that I have admitted that I've not seen, but I have yet to go back and watch just because I'm such a sucker for like the other night. Should have watched The Town. Vice was on Hulu, so I watched Vice instead. Okay. Loki's first episode is so far the best one so far. I agree with that. I'm so excited about the whole exploration of destiny and troll as an illusion as themes of the show. I can't wait to see more. I totally agree with this. I actually, when I rewatched it this morning, was thinking about the concept of when Loki says glorious purpose, which has become like such a fan like thing. It was the first title for the episode, first episode title in the series. And I kind of thought about that being like the idea of the American ideal of like manifest destiny of like it's going to come to pass, like we're going to expand across the entire United States, and Loki's glorious purpose being a manifest destiny of sorts of like I'm going to rule, I'm going to become a king. I don't know, just maybe I'm reading too into it. I don't know. But that was kind of a thought. I totally agree. I think seeing the different ways we go forward, and also now with what was revealed at the end of the episode, which again, I don't want this to be a Loki spoiler stream at all, so please guys keep it out of the comments if you can. With what was revealed at the end of the episode, I'm definitely excited to see how certain stuff from the promos actually plays into the show. Okay, Max said, are you going to check out In the Heights? Yes. Just answer this, but yes, this was probably directly after. I'm a little bit behind, but yes, I'm gonna watch In the Heights. For anyone who has seen In the Heights, I already pay $16 a month to HBO Max, so I'd really like to use that money as opposed to paying another $16 to go to the theater. But is it something I need to see in theaters? Because something like 1917, I would have had a totally different opinion about that movie had I seen it at home. Because being in the theater was insane for that. And I don't know if I necessarily believe all movies need to be seen in theaters, but I don't know. I'm probably going to watch In the Heights at home unless someone has a very convincing argument for me otherwise. Tula, Jack's channel is Fanatic Films, but it's spelled with F-I-N, like fin, the French word for end, as opposed to fanatic, like F-A-N, fan. A little bit complicated, but if you go check out my last Loki review from yesterday, I'm pretty sure I carded to his channel somewhere in the cards. If not, just look him up. I'm sure you'll be able to find him. Or someone in the channel. There you go. Marvel Studio, what's up? I can finally say the name now. Yes, this is Jack's channel, Fanatic Films with the I. Chris from Film Stocks is in the chat. What is up, Chris? I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much for dropping by. How's your day been? I hope it's been good. I saw Cam's vlog of y'all going to all the places in Atlanta where they filmed. Oh my goodness, it's pouring. I don't know if you guys can hear that. All the places y'all went to in Atlanta for all the Marvel shows. I want to do that so bad, in addition to like Baby Driver now. Loki being on a Wednesday has my weekly timeline messed up. Yes, I agree. It feels like it's the weekend today. I think that's why I've been so chill today. It's because I'm like, usually I wake up in the morning, watch the Loki show, do my video, and then it's weekend. Or for Falcon Winter Soldier or WandaVision, whatever. But yeah, so no, I totally agree. And I think for a lot of people, it's gonna... I did read something today saying, though, that Disney Plus has surpassed like first-time viewership for a show with Loki yesterday, which is great. I guess that justifies the move to Wednesdays, but I definitely am interested to see long-term how that affects how soon people watch the episode. Tula asks, any summer bucket list ideas? This is very funny because the only time I've ever made a summer bucket list was in 2019 when I started my channel. There's a video up, I believe still. You can go watch it if you want. It's not great. I filmed it in my house back home, and the audio is not great. I'll be honest with you. But there's some ideas in there that I never completed, which is just embarrassing for me, honestly. Summer bucket list ideas. Mine definitely is to catch up on my 100 movie challenge that a bunch of people in the film community have done, so that I can stop saying, no, I haven't seen the movie. I need to see that. Oh, it's on my watch list. Like, I want to catch up with some movies. I'm definitely super behind. I think I did the calculations at the beginning of the year, and to hit 100 by the end of the year, I needed to watch 15-ish or something a month. And for a while, I was at like 26. By like February, I was at like 26. I was like, this is going to be no problem. Now that school is out and I was super busy with finals and stuff, and I'm not watching movies regularly for class, that has definitely backlogged. So I would say that's my biggest bucket list thing for the summer. The other thing, more live streams. Honestly, doing this with Jack the past couple times has been great. Doing this right now today has already been a blast. We've only been here like 20 minutes. So more of that, and just kind of a little bit more growth on my YouTube channel, and just making more content. Because I feel like once you grow a little bit, and other people can probably back me up on this, if you've done a YouTube channel, once you get a couple more views, you feel more confident to try something new and open up yourself up to new opportunities. And I think that's super fun. So pushing myself a little bit more. Was that clear? Probably not, but that's okay. Chris can also wrap Guns and Ships and listen to it nonstop. Good pun there, Chris. I don't know if that was intentional, but I see you. But yeah, no, I did the same thing. It was one of those things where I kept seeing those like can you do this Hamilton song at like 5 times speed, or can you do such and such at like 10 times speed or whatever? And I was like, I'm going to learn one song. Pretty much every summer I try to learn like one rap song, and last summer it was Guns and Chips, and that is my favorite song. If I ever need like a pump up, like before like an interview or something, I'll be in my car listening to Guns and Chips, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm ready to go slay the day, do whatever I need to do. I'll kill it. Hey, Movies and Trains Studios, how are you doing? Hope your day's great so far. I watched In the Heights today because it came out early and didn't like it very much. Okay, that's very interesting. I'm always super interested to know when stuff is super popular, if people like it or not. I feel like there's a lot of things where you're not always able to, I don't know, like opinions have been kind of split on a lot of things recently, with the exception of Quiet Place. Like I think Quiet Place Part 2, most people were pretty positive about it, but some people were more of like a B rating as opposed to an A, or 5 stars or 4 stars, whatever you want to go on your rating scale. Cruella is something too. I think I've fallen a little bit more of like, it could have been better camp, but some people really, really loved it, and that's great. Totally think your opinion's valid if you didn't like it, but I'm very interested just because I love Anthony Ramos and I love his music, and I'm so excited to see him. Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If I have any 9-9 fans in here, let me know. Super excited about the last season, but she's going to be in it. So I'm more excited for the experience of it, because I think it will be similar to Hamilton in that way, where it's like, it's going to be a musical, and I'm excited for that. I think it'll be fun regardless, but I will definitely be back on here to let people know my opinion at some point in the near future. Brandon, what's up? Good to see you. How's your day going? Hope you're doing well. When is this live going till, and what time is it for you? Right now it's 5:30 for me in the afternoon. I'm on the East Coast, so East Coast time. I don't know how long it's going to, honestly. If you guys get bored, I'll probably log off. I think I'm supposed to go to dinner with some friends tonight. But until then, I think I'll be on for a little bit longer at least. We haven't even hit the 30-minute mark, so maybe as long as an hour. I'm not good at giving exact estimates of time or clear, simple answers, so I will try to get better at that, guys. Do you have any ideas of what High School Musical Season 2, Episode 5 is about? So apparently they're throwing Carlos a quinceañera. That is pretty much what the promo. Sometimes it's hard to find on Disney Plus, but usually first thing I do when I finish an episode is watch the promo for the next week's episode. It used to pop up right away afterwards, but if you accidentally dismiss that, as if to like go back to the regular dashboard for Disney Plus, sometimes it disappears and it's hard to find. But it looks like this one is going to be about his quinceañera, and then Gina looks like she kind of approaches Ricky about something, so I kind of just want the awkwardness and like beef or whatever to go away between them. But yes, I'm very excited for it. I love Carlos. I think he's been really funny this season, and there's a lot of different sides to his character, so I'm excited to do that. You said projects. Any good videos planned for the future? I have a couple. So after doing my Friends reunion review and a Quiet Place Part 2 review, which were definitely not what I would call video essays, but they were maybe a little bit similar to, like, they weren't just me chatting, or they didn't have the same casual vibe that I did with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I definitely was reading out like things I'd pre-written for those. So there's a couple of things that I've been planning for a while. One of them, which I will say just because I think I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I kind of like to get a couple people's opinions or like screenshot comments. One of the videos I really am excited to film once I figure out how to finally like write out the essay for it is like in defense of season 8 of Game of Thrones. I have talked about this a lot on live stream with Jack or on movie drafts, or to anyone who will listen, that I have not stopped thinking about Game of Thrones since the day I finished the show. And I really feel like a lot of people are super visceral about the last season. Understandably so, specifically the last episode, but I really want to like rewatch it and then do a true, like, here's my opinion, why I like it, blah, blah, blah sort of thing. Like, that is probably the one I'm most excited for. There's a couple other like themed 5 movies. 5 is my lucky number, so that's why I always go with like 5 movies. Plus, it's a good number, but it's not too long. It doesn't give you too many options. So I've got a couple videos, sort of like the period pieces I watched after Bridgerton, or recommendations. So it kind of more like recommendations videos, but not strictly on like one streaming service, or kind of more of a genre type thing, if you see what I'm saying. What is your favorite series? Are you talking about TV show or like movie franchise, or What? Probably TV show This Is Us. This Is Us is my absolute favorite. It is coming to an end this fall, which I'm very sad about, but I am definitely someone who feels like shows should, I don't know, there are shows like Grey's Anatomy that people enjoy for years, for 17 seasons, I'm pretty sure, and that's fantastic. But I think there's something really special when a show, like a great recent example is The Good Place. When a show knows we're only going to have this many seasons, you get a specific amount of time to tell a story. And I think the way television is trending now, I think it's really interesting the kind of things you can do in a serialized format with less episodes, as opposed to you're required to have 22 to 24 episodes. It's supposed to run year round. You need to have at least 5 seasons to hit syndication. Those kind of general rules of the trade, I like that those things are going away. So although I will be immensely sad during the last season of This Is Us and when it ends, that is my absolute favorite show. I think it is fantastic. I think it's one of the best shows on network television, if not the best show on network television. And if anyone watches it, please let me know. I will definitely be doing episode like recaps in fall just because I want to talk about it, and it'll be my last chance too. But that is my favorite TV show franchise. Definitely MCU. I don't know if I have a favorite franchise within that. Just because I really do enjoy most of, if not all, the characters. Okay. Chris said, I recommend In the Heights in theaters because of how massive in scale the dance numbers. That's what I kind of was thinking. It's like a classic musical and it feels very big scale. Plus it looks amazing, but HBO Max more convenient. Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's where I'm definitely a movie theater person. I love going to the movies. I definitely had a breakdown at the beginning of last year when the pandemic started, when movie theaters started closing. Because one of the movie theaters in Athens that I regularly went to closed. And that was very, very sad for me. And I had this just horrible panic, like, are movie theaters going away permanently? And they're not. I don't know that they ever fully will. But then it's an In the Heights moment where I'm like, should I go see it in the theaters or not? Like, save the money, because I already know, like, Luca I won't be going to see in theaters because I'm pretty sure that's just on Disney Plus. But then there's like 4 more Marvel movies coming out this year that I have to go see in theaters. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too stingy, but Chris said would recommend both. Okay. I think hopefully it'll be okay either way. But yeah. It was intentional. I thought the pun was intentional. Yeah, absolutely. You don't know true like struggle in life until you try to rap all the parts of Nonstop during that like 5-minute medley. That's a great song in Hamilton. My favorite's definitely Guns and Chips though. But yeah, great pun, Chris. Great pun. How old am I? I'm 21. I am 21 years old. I know it can be misleading because I talk about a lot of nerdy things maybe younger people talk about, but you know what? It doesn't matter. You know, it's no fun to just be a boring adult. Okay? I'm not an adult. I'm definitely not like old enough to be. Who's my favorite artist? Is this art, like painting? Because that would be Vince Van Gogh. Kind of a basic answer, but I just really like his style. That seems so lame. Music, my favorite band is Maroon 5. Again, a little basic, but I love Adam Levine, and like I said, 5's my oh my goodness, I can't speak today. 5 is my lucky number, so they have to be my favorite band. And I've listened to them for a long time. I got to see them in concert once. It was the best day of my life. Yeah. What's In the Heights about? So In the Heights, and someone correct me if I'm incorrect at all in this description, In the Heights is based on a musical that Lin-Manuel Miranda did before Hamilton. And it is about a neighborhood called the Washington Heights in, like, I think in Brooklyn in New York or somewhere in Queens. I don't know. I don't understand the New York suburbs. I'm sorry. But somewhere in New York, and it's this block neighborhood that is kind of, I don't know if it's because of gentrification or like different rulings in the neighborhood, but it is being kind of like abandoned. And I think the story is told in like 2 perspectives of an older version of Anthony Ramos and then him when he lived there. But it's about all of the people in the community who have all these big dreams to kind of go out and like make a name for themselves and do all these things. And so it's kind of this celebration of the Latin community in this Washington Heights neighborhood and kind of just a celebration of where they're from. And I'm really excited to see it. What are my thoughts on Olivia Rodrigo's music? Well, they're I think very, very highly of her. I love her music. I think it's crazy how she shifted from being a Disney Channel star to this, which she still is a Disney Plus star, not really Disney Channel. I don't know how the rules apply because the girl dropped a lot more F-bombs than I ever remember Miley Cyrus being able to back in the day. But I love her music. I love her music. It's definitely, I don't want to go with the classic answer of like, oh, if I had this music in high school, but like it's very teen angsty, which I don't know if I was very angsty teen. Not that far from it now. I'm definitely not angsty now, but like I just really like the music and the artistry and the theme. I'm a huge theme person, okay? If it comes to production design or a theme narratively or anything, I really love themes. So with her whole sour idea of like all of these things she doesn't like about being a teenager or all the like bad sides of a relationship, I think that's really clever. And I think her voice is incredible. She has incredible writing talent. And I think it's super clear that her influences are Taylor Swift and Lorde primarily. And I think that's so cool that she's been able to like build off of their music. So I'm a huge fan. My favorite songs off of Sour, definitely Good For You. I really like Traitor, but it's not like a car jam, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like, you know, I need a good cry song or something like that. I like Joshua Bassett's music too, but not as much. There's also not as much of his music. Yeah, maybe I got a little bit too much caught up in the drama as yeah, maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, I like his music too. I just not as big of a fan as Olivia Rodrigo. Movies and Train Studios said the HBO Max stream for In the Heights is in 4K. It looks amazing. Okay, that's good to know. I do not have a 4K TV, unfortunately. That is something I'm going to have to save up for in the future. But I just didn't love the movie. And it wasn't supposed to start streaming tomorrow. I thought so. Okay, so I literally saw someone's tweet this morning that said, I spent all of today, it was a tweet from yesterday, all of Wednesday thinking it was Thursday and I would see In the Heights tomorrow, but then I realized it's only Wednesday and now it's Thursday. So I thought the same, but then when I was watching Veep earlier, like I said, that's been my obsession lately. Because I was watching that, I saw that it was on there and I was kind of surprised. Yeah, I don't know if they just decided to release it a day early for HBO Max viewers. I also don't know if because a lot of places, I feel like this is a movie where you could get people to go to like a 7 or 9 p.m. showing at the theater. So I'm wondering if that's a reason they released it early, but I don't know. Oh, every time I scroll down on these, the comments go away. Okay, sorry, I'm really behind. I'll try to catch up. Do you like any concert films? I don't think I've ever watched anything that's like a recorded performance of a band. I love Bohemian Rhapsody though. Say what you will about that movie. I love that movie. My family are huge Queen fans. And so, you know, I feel like that last 20-minute performance of Live Aid is as close to anyone alive today that wasn't able to go to that will ever get to it. It's so much better too than the like grainy YouTube videos that exist out there. So no, not a true concert film, but yes, I love Bohemian Rhapsody. Can I sing? No, absolutely no, I cannot. I do not know who the actor Big Ox or Mike Ox. No, I don't know who that is. Sorry. Talking about Marvel, what superhero would you like to? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so here's the thing. Not very athletic. I don't think I would be a prime subject for super soldier serum, for a spider biting me. I'm not scientifically smart enough to be like a Tony Stark. So I got to think a little bit more ground level because I also feel like I wouldn't be in like a magical situation like a Wanda. This is the way I think about it. This is very questionable logic, I know, but this is how I think about it. So my favorite character, I've talked about this, my favorite Avenger is Hawkeye. I like that he is down to earth. I like that he has to go pick up his arrows. I like that there is kind of nothing special about him. I love that he has a secret family. And the fact that Haley Steinfeld, who we share the same birthday, if nobody knows that, and so I love her character, the fact that she's Hawkeye, but she's a little bit of like a youngster coming into the role. I think I would love to play Kate Bishop, but I definitely think Haley Steinfeld would do it better. I cannot act worth an itty bitty iota. So I would never be in a Marvel movie in that capacity. They would fire me if they ever somehow I got in front of a camera. But yeah, I think Kate Bishop would be the answer, which seems like a basic answer. I don't know if you guys are really I've somehow fallen into the Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld fan club on Twitter, which I'm not mad about, but I follow a lot of those like Kate Bishop stan accounts. And so I definitely feel like I would be connected to her somehow. Thanks for following me. Yeah, absolutely. If you guys have your Letterboxd, please leave them in the comments down below, which maybe I should have said this earlier, but if you guys like the stream, it helps me out a lot. It's going to stay up as a video later, so you can come back and reference anything I said here if you like. But yeah, comment down below your Letterboxd. I love to follow people and get people's opinions on films. I don't always read reviews before I've seen the movie. Like a lot of people, I didn't like go and like read their Cruella reviews because I hadn't seen the movie yet until last weekend. But yeah, absolutely. If anyone has a Letterboxd account, let me know down below. I love getting movie recommendations. Have you seen the Dear Evan Hansen trailer? If so, what were your thoughts? Okay, I watched it. I've never seen the play. I think I've read the Wikipedia article or like just plot description of it a few times. I'm a huge Ben Platt fan. I love his music. I love him in The Politician. I loved him in Pitch Perfect even. I think he's fantastic. And so I have seen the trailer. I watched it after the fact. Does anyone think this is going to be Amy Adams' Oscar? Because the girl deserves an Oscar. She is in everything I've watched lately. Just sneaks her way in there, and yeah, has no recognition. So I'm excited to see it. The movie looks really dark. I know the play deals with a lot of really heavy subjects, so I missed the trailer, and if I don't like to do bandwagon trailers all the time. Like I like to do it if I actually care about the thing, or if I've already like caught the first trailer, I won't do it. But with this, I just kind of missed it and didn't know too much about it to talk about it on camera. So I have seen it. I'm excited for it. Yeah. Those are my thoughts so far. I'm kind of going to try to go in as blind as I can from here on out. I'll be interested to see how the movie differs from what I do know about the musical, though. Would love to see that in Defense of Game of Thrones Season 8. Thank you. It's one that's kind of been on my mind for a couple months, but haven't really known how to execute it. But I think now I've got an idea for it. So I just want it to be a really good video. You know, I don't want to do a bad in Defense of Game of Thrones because then I'll have the internet people on me. I loved it when I first watched it, rewatched it, and had so many issues I didn't have the first time. It's complicated. That's interesting, and I wonder if I feel the same way. I don't really want to give away too many of my thoughts because A, spoilers, B, I want to save it for the video. But yeah, I think my only issue with the last season has been narrowed down to a singular thing, which probably Game of Thrones fans know what I'm talking about. But since it's been narrowed down to that thing, which was kind of pointed out to me by Jack, that's when I kind of realized, like, okay, I do have a problem there, and I think a better choice could have been made. But overall, I think that season has the best directed and best cinematography of any episodes of Game of Thrones, and that says a lot because Game of Thrones was like the first show to be like, it's like a movie, but it's a TV show. So yeah, that's definitely an episode I have planned for the future. You guys will be the first to know when it goes up. Have I ever seen The Before? No. So the Before Sunset, which I believe is the first one in that trilogy with Ethan Hawke, and I don't know who the actress in those are. I've not seen them on my to watch list. I'm gonna try to get up to it. I'm really gonna try. Okay. Jam into Sour, Tula. Same. I mean, that's like what's on in my car most of the time. I like Stranger Things. I do like Stranger Things, but I have a weird relationship with Stranger Things. So like I said in Jack's streams, if anyone caught this, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I am bad about catching Netflix originals when they first come out. I am actually really, really, really bad at it. Like Bird Box was probably the first thing. No. Didn't watch Black Mirror until probably like a year ago for the first time. Missed that. All that kind of stuff. I just I miss the initial wave, and then I'm like, do I watch it? So Stranger Things, this is a long answer. Stranger Things, watched the first season, loved it. I think I watched the first season when that was all that was out. I really liked the first season. Then the second season, when Steve and Nancy break up, Steve is like my favorite character. I found the storyline with Nancy and Will's brother very, very boring. Very boring to me. I also did not like 11's storyline with her crew, which I know I need to get past these things. It's a great show, and I've been told there's even more Steve and even more Dustin in future episodes, and so I've been trying to finish season 2, because I know when I finish season 2, I will be binge through season 3, and then I'll be ready for season 4 whenever that's supposed to come out. But that's why I didn't do like a trailer reaction to Stranger Things. I don't know if I ever addressed that, but yeah, let's see. Okay. Do I like Taylor Swift's Folklore and Evermore? That's a great question. I do. I prefer Folklore to Evermore. I really like Willow off of Evermore, and I can't remember which one Golden String is a part of, but that is probably like one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs. I am definitely more of like a Reputation Taylor Swift fan. Like I went to that concert of hers and I went to or that one and I love that album. I think that was brilliant. Talk about branding, theming yourself. Absolutely love that for her. That she was able to do that. But yeah, I like these two albums. They're not my favorite from hers, but I also think they're great for like a cozy rainy day. If you're gonna be inside like cleaning or something, like you light a candle and have that album on, that'd be great. If I had like a record player, that's definitely one I would get in a record player. I hate that Disney isn't releasing Pixar movies in theater. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you because this, like, they need. I'm the person who goes to like I saw Inside Out at 7 p.m. the day before it came out. I love Pixar. For those who don't know, who are new to my channel, animation was what I really wanted to go into before I got into like live action stuff. And I hate that we're not being able to see this stuff in theaters. But I will say Soul was something. Soul was not my favorite. I got to see Onward in theaters, which was awesome. I loved Onward. I think it was a better movie than Soul, and I think Soul was great, but I think it was trying to get at some things that we as humans can't really get at necessarily. It's kind of my opinion of it. But Pete Docter, love him. He's fantastic. But yeah, I'm disappointed about this. I would love to go see Luca in theaters. But at the same time, like Chris and I already kind of talked about with the In the Heights situation, I'm already paying for it. So it's like, I guess that's one more thing for free. Least favorite DCEMU movie is most of them an answer because the answer is most of them. My least favorite, no, my least favorite by far is it's a tie between. No, it's Aquaman. I won't lie to you. Aquaman is horrible. I do not like that movie. I've seen it too many times for swearing to never see the movie. I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm not a fan. The storyline, it could be fixed, in my opinion, better. I feel like this CGI underwater hair wasn't necessary. It just was very distracting to me. That's my least favorite. Right above that is Whedon's Justice League. Hands down. Those are the bottom 2. Jaren, what is up? I so hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you for popping into my stream. I really appreciate that. If you had to describe yourself in one sentence, what would you say? Oh gosh. I would say chaotic mess that means well, but drinks too much coffee and has a very bad short-term memory. That's a really long sentence. I don't even think that's a proper sentence. But I think, yeah, I'm a little bit all over the place sometimes. I try to present myself as very like, maybe not on YouTube as much, but in my real life, I try to like present myself as somewhat professional, but I definitely am like kind of a nervous wreck sometimes. I drink way too much coffee. Yeah, those are the main things I think about myself. I'm also definitely someone who is, I'm a worrywart, as one might say. I definitely get worried about things that are not in my control, that are just kind of dumb. And so part of my like switch to doing this side of YouTube and being a little bit more relaxed with an upload schedule has really helped that, because that was something that caused me like way too much stress and anxiety that never should have. It's just for fun. Never needed that to be so serious. But thanks, Sharon, for popping by. If you're still here, I am so behind. Oh my gosh. Love you in film stock. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Go dogs. Sick 'em. Woof, woof, woof. I love the dogs. I love the Bulldogs. Georgia, greatest school in the South. Don't want to hear it otherwise. Sorry to other SEC fans, but we're the best. We should do a Blu-ray hunt together. Actually, I texted Chris about some Blu-ray sale that was going on recently, but maybe that will be a future thing. I don't know. We'll see. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from doing YouTube? My biggest lesson from doing YouTube. Wow, that's a really good question. I think the biggest thing I've learned from YouTube is just because you love something and you work hard at it does not mean you'll be successful. I know me doing this right now, having 1,000 subscribers, which I'm really grateful for and amazed by, is like maybe contradictory that. But I think I've seen so many people try so hard for so long. Most of my growth, for people who don't know, who are new to the channel, on this YouTube, people have been has been over the last like 3 months, like legitimately 3 months. Not even since the beginning of this year. I've been on YouTube since 2019, and so the biggest lesson I learned right off the bat starting, because I hit 100 subscribers within my first month of YouTube. I have a video about that. But then the growth was super stagnant, and taking breaks because of school, because that needed to be my priority, really hurt my YouTube growth. So the biggest lesson is that as much as it sucks, because I like to believe that if you have enough hard work and passion, like you'll get there eventually. But I think just the reminder that that stuff does come slowly. Yeah, it's almost kind of the lesson of Monsters University, not to be too cringy, but like in Monsters University, when Mike wants to be a scarer, he wants to be nothing but a scarer, but he realizes he's not scary, and so he can't do that. You have to like learn to adapt, because if you love something, it's better to be doing something related to it than not at all. Am I making sense? A little bit, maybe. I don't know. This is just a fun casual stream, but that's a great question. Favorite Hitchcock movie? Okay, so bad film study student here. Bad film study student. Only seen one, and it's Rear Window, but I am amazed by it. I love Rear Window. I've seen it a couple times. It is fantastic. I love Jimmy Stewart. I think the use of like a character whose like weapon, if you will, of like his camera is specified to him, that helps him like win the day, and the flashes against the neighbor who like ends up coming to attack him. I think that is a fantastic movie. Highly recommend for anyone kind of new to cinema. Really love Rear Window. That's something I would love to get like a really cool steelbook of, is Rear Window. How long have I been on YouTube? 2 years. I just celebrated my 2-year anniversary on May 25th. It was so cool that it was like the day after I hit 1,000 subscribers. It was such a cool week. Okay, I see some people leaving their Letterboxd. So guys, go follow 123 Rockfan on Letterboxd. Go follow him. But I will be back. Ewan, what is up, man? How are you doing? I hope you're having a great Thursday. Thanks so much for stopping by. Okay, 123 Rockfan said that the trailer gives a lot away. So I get that, but I also feel like a lot of the play is about the emotional effects of what happens and isn't supposed to necessarily be a spoiler thing. And here's something which I'd love to get y'all's opinion on. I think since we live in such a Marvel and spoiler-like movies like that, Nolan, stuff like that, since that's so prevalent in like film communities, that the way other films have been affected by that is like people will be like, don't spoil like Luca for me. And I understand that like you want to, especially if you're paying to go see a movie, you don't want that experience ruined for you, or you're investing a lot of time in a show, you don't want that ruined for you. But I feel like the first time I recognized this was in Toy Story 4. Someone was like, don't spoil Toy Story 4, don't spoil Toy Story 4. And I was like, the thing is though, like it's not a spoiler movie, and at the end of the day, if you're going to watch a Toy Story film, you're going to be with those characters that you already know and love. You're not necessarily going for like what's going to happen in the end. Maybe this is the wrong opinion to have, but I just feel like certain things maybe are meant to be spoiled or don't need to be handled with the same spoiler care. I agree that like at the end of the day, it sucks if you're like paying for money and someone spoils it. Like I was in class one day, I had just spent $40 to get me and my boyfriend tickets to go to Avengers Endgame, the premiere. We were driving like halfway across town to go see it. And this girl behind me is watching a bootlegged copy with no earbuds in. Like that's not cool. Don't intentionally spoil something for someone ever, no matter what it is. That's just kind of a crappy move. But like I definitely feel like there's certain things that are like inherently more spoiler filled. I don't know. Especially if it's in the trailer from the company, I don't care as much. Not to say your opinion is wrong, 123 Rock Fan, I'm just saying. Ewan, what is your favorite video you've made? Oh, this is an interesting question. I really liked my period piece video of things to watch after Bridgerton. No one really watched that, which is totally fine. I think I have a majority male audience anyways, which is cool. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for supporting me. But yeah, I don't think that went over as well. It also came out when I was kind of returning to YouTube. But I think my favorite video I've made recently is my Friends video. I was really happy with the way that came out. I repeated kind of a punny one-liner that I came up with a few too many times. So maybe that was a little annoying, but that's probably my favorite video. I thought that was fun, and I did a bunch of like title cards for that, so that was cool. I added the titles today, the like timestamps, so go check it out if you haven't. Ben Platt or Lin-Manuel Miranda? I gotta go with Ben Platt just because I would listen to Ben Platt's music maybe a little bit more regularly. I also, this might be bad. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda was perfect for Hamilton because obviously he needed to play Hamilton. Like it was his thing, it was his idea. He came up with the whole, shebang. But I don't know that he's the best singer. Like if you listen to the beginning of Hurricane, it's not like my favorite song to listen to. In fact, most of the songs on the Hamilton soundtrack that I enjoy the most are not Lin-Manuel Miranda performed songs. So that's not to say he's like worse than Ben Platt. That's just to say Ben Platt's voice I prefer more, I guess. Just saying the opening song to In the Heights is such a pop. That is what I've heard people say. Jack was saying last night he almost has the whole thing memorized, but it's like a 7-minute song. So I'm pumped. Maybe that'll be my challenge for the summer. Ben is awesome as hell, but Lin for the win. Okay, so Ewan and I have differing opinions, and that's totally fine. It looks like Movies and Train Studios agrees with him. I think, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I prefer Ben, but I also saw that there's a trailer for Lin-Manuel Miranda's directorial debut in Tick, Tick, Boom. And so I'm interested to see where that goes. I definitely think he is insanely talented, and I would try to go see or be a part of anything he was like creatively involved with. But I think Ben Platt is personally a little bit my favorite. His character on The Politician is hilarious to me. He's like the anti-Leslie Knope, and I love that. Before Sunrise Sunset is Julie Delpy. Julie Delpy. Am I saying that right, Ewan? Yes. I see a lot of like Pinterest like screenshots of them, of that, like them as a couple in that movie. And so yeah, I really need to get around to those. Hope You're Okay makes me ugly cry. Yeah, Hope You're Okay is one of those that I really like because it's a song that, like, as someone who's now gone through like middle school and high school, and I changed schools a couple times growing up, that you just grow apart from people, and it doesn't mean you don't care about those people, but you just want to know, if you could say to the whole world in her position, hey, I hope you're doing okay. That's really sweet. So yeah, we won't talk about it if it makes anyone too sad, but have I seen any Studio Ghibli movies? If you haven't, most of them are on HBO Max. That is what I have heard. Been meaning to get around to them. I have seen I'm scared if I like open a new tab that something will happen in the stream, so I'm not going to do it. I've seen the one, and I know that most Ghibli movies have this, but Something of the Winds. Something of the Winds. They live in the meadow field, and then there's almost like a coup, if I remember correctly. But then they're like, the environment is like becoming bad or something. This is just describing every Studio Ghibli film ever, I feel like. But yeah, that is my that is the only one I've seen. If someone can tell me the name of it, I would greatly appreciate it because it was a while ago. I liked it. It was a little bit of a slow burn movie. I talked about this in my first 100 movies I've watched video. I really feel like with slow burn movies, I'm not as interested. Like The Florida Project was the one I talked about in that video. And with just when it's slower, I don't know. Maybe that's bad of me. I'm definitely someone who has adapted to the Americanized less than 2-second cut shots. And I like movies if they have like adequate pacing, but I think when it's a slower, more chill movie. But Movies and Train Studios recommends My Neighbor Totoro, Whisper of the Heart, and Spirited Away. I feel like Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro are like two of the most popular ones, so I definitely need to see those at some point, but I have not gotten around to it. Have you watched Cobra Kai? No, I haven't. In fact, I haven't seen the original Karate Kid. I saw the one with Jaden Smith in like 2010. I haven't seen that one. The only reason I know about it is because one of my best friends loves it, and I know the guy because he's Barney Stinson's like idol. Yeah. Okay. Yo, Jack. Do not get in trouble at work, man. Thank you so much for hopping in the stream, but seriously, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. Like, Don't. Who's my favorite non-movie YouTuber? Okay, I follow a lot of Sims YouTubers. Don't talk about this a ton. Well, I have talked about this a lot on stream. The Sims 3 is my favorite game ever. I've been trying to get into The Sims 4 because my Sims 3 game is glitchy. If you play the game, you know. And so my favorite non-movie YouTubers would probably be Plumbella, who's a Sims YouTuber, and Little Simsy, who's a Sims YouTuber. I have been watching them. When I haven't been watching my film community buddies, I'm watching them. Like, I just love their content. They make great Sims 4 builds if you play the game. You disliked Shazam. Haven't actually seen Shazam, but I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good indication of what movies I will like and what not. There's times when I'm wrong. I am a human being, but yeah. Yeah. You and I got you covered, Jack. We won't tell anyone. Have I watched Mayor of Easttown? No, I haven't. I did do a story about the a little while ago about that it crashed like the night of the finale. Haven't watched it. I heard Kate Winslet is amazing and that the show is really entertaining, but I haven't gotten around to it. Again, yeah, maybe I waste a little bit too much time in my day is what I'm realizing. Let's see. Okay. No, I cannot speak French, unfortunately. That's so cool though. I can't. The only French I can speak is Lafayette's lines in Hamilton. Yeah. That's true. Sebas, how are you? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe you came in my live stream. This is so cool. How are you doing? Congrats on graduating. We watched it the other day. So proud of you. Hope you're doing great. Say hi to your whole family for me, please, please, please. If you grew up with the toys from Toy Story, which would be your favorite? I always wanted a Woody doll. I love Buzz and Woody. And Woody is my favorite Toy Story character. So definitely Woody because of like the pull string and talking about the snake in his boot and his hat and all that kind of stuff. I love it. Chris is back, guys. He went for a little bit. He was probably busy doing more important things than this, but he's back, guys. Thank you, Chris, for sticking around. That's so cool. What's the biggest spoiler you've gotten? Okay, this goes way back. But someone spoiled the end of Percy Jackson to me. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the book series, my favorite book series of all time. I cannot wait for the Disney Plus show. Cannot wait. I know they're casting for it right now. But that was probably the biggest spoiler at the time because that was the most important thing to me. And it was like the last Olympian come out and I was like catching up or like I was rereading the books for that book to come out and someone spoiled it for me. I feel like that's a pretty big spoiler at the time. I mean, there were things like I grew up with Star Wars, so I don't think that really got spoiled for me. Other spoilers, I don't think recently. I know like how Lost ends, and I knew how Game of Thrones ended. But to me, those weren't as big of spoilers because I didn't know how they happened. So there's that. But those were the biggest spoilers I think I've ever gotten. Have you seen The Social Network? Yes. I love Aaron Sorkin's dialogue. West Wing is something I'm sort of trying to like work my way into watching. Yes. I love The Social Network. Fantastic. It's maybe not one of my favorite movies of all time just because I feel like I just wouldn't casually rewatch it, but it's a fantastic film. I think the screenplay is amazing. We've talked about this a lot on the movie drafts, but yeah, one of the biggest snubs ever. Okay. Sebas is recommending me Cobra Kai. So I think I really do need to get on the Cobra Kai train because there's more seasons and it's a Netflix original and it's all there and I can binge it. So I have no excuse anymore. Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind. Yes, that is the movie that I saw. I think they're beautiful films. And I'm so glad that Studio Ghibli has been able to keep like 2D animation alive. And I think that's amazing. But I haven't been able to watch all of them. So yes, Nausicaa is the name of the movie. Nausicaa and the Valley of the Winds. What's your opinion on gatekeeping in the YouTube movie community? Someone told me that I shouldn't make a review channel since I haven't seen. Oh, no. Okay, so I have actually very strong opinions about this. I have to say, the movie community that I have been lucky enough to be a part of is super welcoming, super amazing. Everyone's been super nice to me. And, you know, just a little bit of fun teasing, like, you haven't seen this. And usually it's something like The Town that isn't like the Godfather or the top movie ever or whatever. I have not seen Shawshank. I own it. It's on a shelf back there behind me. I own it. I have not seen it. I think because I own it, it's not on my priority list because I can just watch it whenever. But no, I highly recommend if you want to do YouTube, do it, because it's one of those things where it can grow when you're not working on it. It's a really fun hobby to have. And I don't think I would ever want to get to the point in my life that I didn't like try out YouTube just because I wanted to do it for so long. So I highly recommend doing it. And the movie community is, I think they're super welcoming. And I have to say a lot of people online. Film Twitter is a little different, but people on YouTube are way more focused on like big blockbuster releases, which I think like the normal people you run into in like film school are, they're not like, they almost ignore those movies more. So I definitely think if you want to watch it, heck, make that your first video. Go to Goodwill. I promise you there are Shawshanks at Goodwill. Go to Goodwill, pick it up, and watch it. And then do your review on it. Make it on your iPhone, sit in front of a window when the lighting is okay, record it. If you have earbuds or anything, you do your audio through that. 100%, I'll be your first subscriber. Seriously, I'll go subscribe to you after this live and do it. I highly recommend it. Don't worry about you haven't seen movies, because especially if you're in the film community a lot, you're eventually going to see the movies. It's better. I honestly think it's better for YouTube stuff to like keep up with the newer stuff. And your opinion of film changes over time. Like someone said earlier that they watched the second season of Game of Thrones the second time and didn't like it. So your opinion changes. Film's not got to do a joint Blu-ray hunt. Maybe we have to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Hopefully employed. Hopefully in a full-time job. Because I'll be done with college within the year. Yeah. So hopefully that, and very happy, and have enough money in my pocket to go see a movie when I want to go see it. I think that's a good answer. Hopefully. Film stock needs to go on Blu-ray hunting with me. Yep. Guys, it sounds like there's some Blu-ray hunting collabs soon. Maybe. I don't know. Cobra Kai is so good. Everyone tells me it's amazing. I genuinely can't give you like a good solid reason why I haven't seen it. I just haven't. Special is one of my favorite shows. I love it. It's a very special show. Haha, wink wink. Pun there. I really love the show. The guy that is the lead, his name is Ryan in the show. I believe his name in real life is Ryan O'Connell too. He wrote a book which the show is based on, and then he is also the head writer and showrunner for the series, as well as acting in it. And it is such a great story, and it's so cool that a show like that can be so niche in a way, and tell someone's experience of Ryan in the show. If no one's seen it, he has cerebral palsy, but he's also a gay guy. And so he's able to the show is all about his dating life and his struggles with disability and kind of making friends. And he also works at this BuzzFeed type place with a really horrible boss. So it's like the best like combination of including diversity, but it's from people who have actually like gone through those situations, and it's based on their real life experiences. So it's super great. It's a really great show. I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Make sure to watch Karate Kid 1 and 2. Okay. See, this is maybe my only good reason for not seeing Cobra Kai yet, is I haven't seen Karate Kid 1 or 2. Have you watched Stranger Things? Or are you excited for season 4? You must not have been here earlier, Alex, but I have watched Stranger Things. I watched the first season, and I think I'm literally on like the second to last episode of the second season, but I've been there for years, which is just not good. I'm excited for other people for season 4. I'm not as excited for season 4 for myself, just because I'm not as invested in the show, but I could totally see myself getting back into it. Yeah. What kind of sketching do I like to do? I think you're talking about art stuff, and I don't know. I mean, like, I love to just pick up a piece of paper, like sketchbook, and just a mechanical pencil are my favorite to draw with, and just like go at it. Or like, I think the best sketches for me always ended up being like on my math homework in high school, like something that already had stuff printed on it, like in the margins. I would do that. But I do a lot of digital art now, just because I have my iPad Pro, which is fantastic. Honestly, if I had to give a recommendation, I would not spend money on like a computer art tablet. I would get an iPad Pro. Yeah. So mainly traditional, but I just kind of do both. I like to do a lot of fan art, and that makes it so that I could do a lot of sketches trying to make my I did like 5 sketches of Loki the other day trying to make it look like Tom Hiddleston, and none of them looked like him. And so I just ended up saying, like, forget about it. I'm done for the day. That's art block for you folks. So yeah. Do you like Chris Nolan? I do like Christopher Nolan. I definitely don't think I have a right to say, like, oh, I'm a Christopher Nolan fan girl. I spend a little bit too much of my time whenever I see one of his new movies or one of his movies for the first time trying to, like, find a plot hole. Haven't been able to do it, so props to him. Yeah, I think probably my favorite is Interstellar, just because I love Matthew McConaughey in that movie. And I think the score is beautiful, and I think the message of the film is beautiful, and the father-daughter relationship that it follows. But yeah, I like Christopher Nolan. I'm definitely not hardcore Nolan fangirl or fan guy, whatever. I don't really care that much. But yeah, I like his movies. Yeah, I like his movies. What is my unpopular opinions? Okay, so I've been kind of wondering if I should do a video about this, but then I was like, maybe it's not a great way to, like, start off with a bunch of new subscribers and be like, here's my unpopular opinions. So I guess my most unpopular is that I love the last season of Game of Thrones. I love the last episode of Game of Thrones, which I think is kind of an unpopular opinion. I maybe a more recently bad or unpopular opinion is I didn't love Cruella. Jaron Talks Movies did a fantastic review of his opinion of Cruella and saying it was frustrating, and I think that's the perfect word to describe how I felt about the film. So maybe that's another one of my unpopular ones. Let's see. I think Steve Jobs is the best written Aaron Sorkin movie. Maybe I don't want to put that out there. I just have a personal connection with the film. I really love the film. I don't know if I have that many more unpopular. I know I have unpopular opinions about movies and TV shows. I just can't think of what they are right now. So let's see. Do I have a boyfriend? I do have a boyfriend. My boyfriend's name is Christian. He popped into the Loki stream last night. He is wonderful, and he helps me a lot with stuff on my channel. So whenever stuff doesn't look professional, it's probably because I had to do it by myself. And if it does look professional, it's because he helped me. I loved the comedy in the first season, but unfortunately, Stranger Things turns into a silly comedy in the third season. One of the strangest turns I've seen in a TV show. I've not heard this. I really liked the first season of Stranger Things. I think it was such a unique show at the time. And now those kids have blown up, which good for them, because, like, I think they're all super talented and will probably have super successful careers in Hollywood going forward. But yeah, I can't speak to the change in tone of the show. But because I haven't seen that much of it, but I like the first season a lot, and I don't know what it is about the rest of the show. It doesn't compel me as much as the first season. Spider-Man 3, No Way Home is coming out December 17th. Yeah, December 17th, 2021. Yes, Interstellar for the win. One of my all-time favorite movies. Huge Nolan fan here. Well, that's fantastic. I love that there's, like, a very strong following for Christopher Nolan, and I think his films are amazing. Tenet is fantastic. I loved Tenet. That was the best, like, return to movies experience that I could have hoped for. I absolutely loved getting to see that movie in theaters. But yeah, I think Interstellar is probably my favorite. My favorite Nolan movie, Alex says, is The Dark Knight. Rest in peace to Heath Ledger. Yeah. This is where, and somebody asked about the DCEU a little bit earlier on. I don't count, like, the Nolan films, the Nolan Batman trilogy is a part of that because it's so good. They're so good. They're such good films. But I think the DC villains lend themselves more to, like, darker tone. And I don't know if it's just because the MCU has already established itself as kind of lighthearted. And so, like, I know there's, like, deep, sad stuff that happens in the comics, but I feel like DCEU can really, like, it's at its best, in my opinion, when it's either super dark or super, like, intentionally campy, like the beginning of Wonder Woman. But then you get a movie like Birds of Prey, which falls apart by the end. Great setup, great start, great character. By the end, it's just kind of like, I don't know. So yeah, I really like his trilogy, and The Dark Knight is my favorite of those three. Heath Ledger is incredible. What an incredible talent. He is also such a good actor. I've seen him in a couple other things now in Brokeback Mountain. I feel like his performance in that doesn't get talked about a lot. Him and Jake Gyllenhaal are great in that movie. What's the last Blu-ray I bought? So the other day, the reason I've been preaching goodwill for Blu-ray hunting the past few days is the last 3 Blu-rays I got. Picked them up the other day. They were all $2.92 a piece, so $3 if you want to round up. They're in my car right now, so I can't go get them. But they are a Dark Knight Rises, and it's a holographic cover, so like with a slipcover, which is sick because I have like the original Avengers movie holographic and some of the Pixar ones that way. So that was super cool to find. I got Man of Steel because I've never seen it. And I actually find Superman kind of compelling. I think Superman is my favorite DCEU guy. I think it's maybe because he's kind of like an alien version of Captain America, but really like him. And then there was the third one, and I can't remember what it was, but those were 2 of the last 2 that I got. Am I going to do a complete Blu-ray collection? I've thought about this right now, since I was really into Blu-rays when I first got into the MCU and Pixar movies, because that's when digital downloads were big. And I've said this before, but I'm an Apple fangirl, so when Disney movies would come out, they had a deal with Apple where their movies would, or specifically Pixar, I think, would all come with an Apple digital download. Now a lot of these movies have switched to like Movies Anywhere, or there was a Sony one for a while that literally shut down. Like my digital copy of Amazing Spider-Man 2 are just gone forever, which is, great, but I have the physical copy. So I collected those pretty early on. I would save up some money and go get like the $25 slipcover one. I would just get like the deluxe gold edition, whatever. But since then, I have kind of compiled my collection with like stuff my parents have, stuff I've been able to buy at the store to kind of have a little bit of a collection. But that means a lot of them I haven't actually seen, because I haven't gone and purchased them once I bought them. So I don't know. I think it would have to be a while before I did a full Blu-ray collection. I know a lot of people in the film community do them at the beginning of the year. So maybe by next year, once I've completed my 100 movies challenge, because I kind of have a rule with myself that by the end of this year, any movie I've talked about on my channel at some point, probably on movie drafts or that's like on my shelf back there, I should try to have seen them if I'm going to do this whole 100 movie challenge. Like if I own the movie, I should probably watch it. So I just don't want to be like movie haul and be like, oh, here's this, like, haven't seen it. Haven't seen that. You know what I'm saying? Max, like it's more so about that. And I just don't want to sound dumb than it is, that I would be open to doing it. Wes Anderson was one of my favorite directors, and he has kind of tone in movies that is like a book. Yes, like a book. A lot of his movie, or maybe not a lot, but like Fantastic Mr. Fox is a Roald Dahl book. And I think that's super cool. Yeah, his movies are very like storybook-esque, without being like kids movies, but they're also not like super vulgar. I've only seen Fantastic Mr. Fox and Royal Tenenbaums. Royal Tenenbaums, I love. I adore that movie. And I really need to watch a lot more of Wes Anderson's, just because I know a lot of people, like Josh over at After Credits, did a really great Wes Anderson ranking, with a really cool intro for that video. So go check that out. But yeah, he has a smaller filmography, so I feel like I need to attack that pretty soon. My unpopular opinion is that Batman Begins is vastly superior to The Dark Knight. Oh, that's really interesting. I like that in the sense that it's like his origin story, so I can see where like the setup there is. Yeah, I think I just like The Dark Knight because there's a really great video essay. I can't remember who did it. One of the bigger film YouTube channels, talking about how Heath Ledger's Joker, and oh my gosh, who plays Batman in Batman Begins? In the whole Nolan trilogy, Christian Bale. So Heath Ledger's Joker and Christian Bale's Batman are they want the same goal. They both want like control of Gotham, but they have completely different means for achieving it. Kind of the same way that Killmonger and T'Challa both want like to be king of Wakanda, but have different means of accomplishing that. I think that is why I like The Dark Knight better, because the villain antagonist protagonist setup is super strong. But I also know listen, if you like Batman Begins, I think that's a great unpopular opinion to have, because it's something you like. Okay, let's see. Which Descendants, 1, 2, and 3? So I haven't seen that many of them. I saw one, and I honestly, this is maybe bad. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion to have. I didn't really like it. I think it felt a little bit too much to me, like it was trying to be High School Musical. I know, Ortega, I forget his first name, but he was the director of all three High School Musicals. He was in charge of those, and so I feel like that was maybe I just had my expectations too high with it. I think I like the concept. I love any sort of concept of like, let's take fairy tales and like make it their kids or transition it. And I know 2 and 3 has China Anne McClain in it, and I think that's really cool, but I haven't seen it. So I guess I'd have to pick one. Also, guys, I'm probably going to be cutting this off at the 1:30 because I've had a blast. But you know, I'm a little parched. My throat's getting a little sore from talking, which usually does not happen because I could just gab all the time. But this has been fun. So if you have any last questions, get them in there. I'll try to answer them before we go. But yeah, Max asks, do I have any steelbooks? I do. I have a really cool Breakfast Club one, which I really like. It's like a locker of one of the lockers at the school. It's super cool. And then I have I think I have a 1917 steelbook. Hacksaw Ridge. It's a Hacksaw Ridge one, and that one is super cool. There's a Dirty Dancing one right now at Target that I keep thinking about a little bit because it's really pretty. But with the steelbooks, if it's a good deal, I'll get it. But or if it's really pretty, but like some of them are just way too expensive. You know, just to justify 25 or sometimes they're close to like $30 for a movie, especially when you could get it in 4K for cheaper sometimes. So yeah. Plus they're not all that easily accessible. And for steelbooks, I'd want to have like a movie I really, really enjoy. Like I really want to get the Avengers Endgame steelbook, but those are pretty much sold out anywhere but eBay, and they're going for like $40. So don't think that's happening. I have not seen any Lord of the Rings movies. I saw The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. I think that's the first one. No, that's the last one. I don't know. Lord of the Rings, again, is something that's on my list. I need to get through to that. But yeah, no, have not gotten there yet. Heath Ledger was supposed to be in Dark Knight Rises, but he died. Yeah. I do like Bane though. Tom Hardy's Bane is fantastic villain. And then the twist at the end, if you guys know what I'm talking about, yeah, that's fantastic. I really like Tom Hardy's Bane, but I agree. It would have been cool to see the return of Joker, but I also feel like he's a fitting villain for the second one. I'm also not a huge fan because I think it ends up bad more times than it ends up good when movies have a couple too many villains or antagonists. I think that just kind of like gets in the way. Let's see. Okay. This is really sweet. I love you so much. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. I really appreciate that. That's so cool. I definitely don't think of myself as like a YouTuber, but I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I'm a big fan of the movie community, and I always support old and new YouTubers. I love my passion of films and your account. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so nice. Thank you guys. Seriously, so much. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to get off now just because it's been, close to an hour and a half. But seriously, to all of you who have stayed around the whole time, I really, really appreciate it. I think tomorrow I will have my High School Musical, the musical series video up at some point. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to be putting that up. Might be later in the day, but I will try to get that up because I know you guys like it more if I get it out on Friday as opposed to Sunday, which I've made that mistake a few times, but I'll try to not do that in the future. But thank you guys so much for sticking around for some of you an hour and a half. You guys are crazy. You're so nice. You're amazing. I can't wait to see you guys soon. New video will be tomorrow. And then next week, we've got Loki. We've got a Loki live, and I'll probably try to do another live stream soon because this was a blast. So thanks, guys, so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.